Okay, so my name is Sandra Monkman-Chalton, and I've just completed the level 4 in therapeutic counselling with York Learning. It actually starts back about 15 years ago, before I even considered York Learning, and through a bereavement, a personal bereavement, my youngest daughter had some bereavement support with a charity in the local area where I work, and she got something from it, but maybe not enough from it. And the interesting concept for me was that the actual support worker or counsellor that was with my daughter made a comment about myself, and that set me thinking a little bit. And it was in relation to the fact that my husband had died, and she made a comment to me with, "I wish I'd got a chance to speak to you and done some work with you," which left me in a very awkward sort of feeling and setting really about things. But I did have some counselling later, and I did embark on becoming a support worker with children for this particular agency, embarking on some training. But then it was almost like, I'd like to do more. But my biggest problem and downfall was self-confidence and not feeling I was good enough. So having spoke to quite a few people and a few friends, a couple of people mentioned York Learning, and they said that they were a particularly good provider of education and that might be suitable for me. So that's when I made the call, and I started as a level 2. I had a fabulous tutor, not just saying for the sake of saying it, fabulous tutor in Sarah Myler. She gave me that platform, she gave me that foundation of self-belief of, this is the taster, see how you go, I might want to do level 3. So when I was coming towards the end of level 2, conversations were had, and I was quite hungry and keen to do level 3. So I applied for level 3, I got onto level 3, fabulous tutor, John McDermott, and thanks to John, the interview I had with him prior to putting the application in for level 4 was that we had the conversation where John said, "How are you doing, how are you feeling?" And I said, "John, am I good enough to do level 4? To which he replied, "Sandra, it's in your hands. If you don't do it, you might regret it. Do I think you can do it? Absolutely. You will struggle with the academic side of things, I'm sure, because we'd had those conversations before. But I believe that, yeah, your journey is not for the stopping here, it's to continue." So I applied for level 4. And then I nervously had a remote online interview with Anne-Marie. And I had to give her a background story, and one of the things she said to me is, "Thank you for your bravery and your courage. I really appreciate it." And I actually felt, not just from John or for Sarah, but more so, I just felt a real clear evaluation. And I felt that validation that was coming through there, that yeah, I am good enough. I'm going to struggle with it, I'm still going to struggle with my confidence, but this person sat opposite me on this screen actually is making me feel I have an opportunity to do it. So then I had a following interview, which was personal, which was the PPD in a group, and then I got the confirmation I got it, and I was absolutely buzzing. Because for me, the turning point was the fact that the educators of York Learning believed in me, and they gave me that platform. And that felt something very deep inside for me, because I'd never really felt that. Right through my life, I've never really felt that people have really believed in me, for me, and I could become a counsellor, which was always there, but I'd never felt the confidence and the self-belief. And that's where the journey took me. And yeah, I can now say I am where I am as a volunteer counsellor, not a support worker, but where I've continued my placement, they have now given me a position, not paid, but I've got a permanent, 1 day a week as a volunteer counsellor, and I'm just getting used to saying that word now. And that's new territory for me, so yeah, and that's thanks to the learning, that's thanks to York Learning giving me that faith and that belief. And yeah, I do feel I'm good enough now, yeah. So journey complete-ish, but not, because there's always the follow-on. What's next? Well, that is a great question, and that's the question that for me is unanswered at the moment. I've made the decision that once I've got the certificate in my hand, that's again very important to me, physically having that piece of paper. Once I've done the BACP exam, which we all have to do, I've got mine in September, celebrate a special birthday, I will say that, 60th. So you can learn at a mature age. Once those sort of milestones are out of the way, then I will start looking, maybe further down the line, looking at private practice. But at the moment, I want to keep my options open and just see where I'm going, because there are things that fascinate me. There's things that, I'm very much into trauma, bereavement, but I'm also very much into neurodiversity. I've got quite a number of clients that I work with that are neurodivergent, and working and balancing that with pre-bereavement and bereavement is really fascinating. Fascinating learning about the different way people respond, react and grieve, as opposed to somebody who doesn't have neurodiversity. So yeah, there's so much, the scope in those areas. I think that fascinated by that. So I don't want to leave my options limited. I want to keep sort of just, and probably further learning actually at some stage, we'll come, yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Well, this might sound a bit of a cliche, but I have been very fortunate. Level 2, lovely cohort, we all got on. Level 3, great cohort, we all got on. Level 4, different kind of bond. I think it was a deeper depth of bond at level 4 at that level. And I think more so because you are really revealing yourself to people that you've never, in some cases, not met before. There were several people on my level 4 course that had been with me in level 2 and 3. So there was a depth of knowledge and knowing about them. But the way that we were, and to get to know each other at a more intimate level, and I think that's key. You're not just, it's not a question about, oh hi, how are you, and how's your family, how's life. You're really getting to know who that person is. You're getting to know history, you're getting to know the good, the bad, the ugly. And again, it's just a different kind of, the whole concept is different when you're counselling. It's not, there's no course, I don't think there's any course like it. Because of what you are working with and working toward. But more so as well in the classroom, you're finding out about yourself, finding out who you really are. And then to have that trust in other people to say how you really feel about something, instead of saying, oh, I'm okay, and saying, no, I'm not. And then somebody saying to you, oh, what's going on, what's happening, and actually talking about it is revealing, but comforting. Really comforting, and thinking, yeah, she's feeling it, or he's feeling it, or just that different way of minds working. But yeah, really, I loved it, and I miss them. But the good thing is, because of the depth of our group, we actually are meeting once a month. So we had our first remote session last night for an hour and a half. So each month we're going to chair it, do a check-in, bring a subject, chat together and do a check-out. So that's the strength of our relationship as a cohort that have now left. All 11 of us are going to continue. So we had it last night, we'll meet in September. We've got the meetings planned out for a whole year. The great thing is though with us is that if you're available, you're available. If you're not, you're not. So there's not the same pressure because you might be on holiday or it might be another commitment because life gets in the way. But yeah, we are committed, and for me, that's really nice. It's quite comforting to know that they're still there and the WhatsApp group's still there, and we can kind of sort of bounce off each other still a little bit and see what everybody else is doing. Some people want to go on to further study, some people are not going to do a great deal, some people are like me, going to stay where they are with client base, keep the counselling up, do that, but also keep it a little bit open and see what availability might or might not come. And then get an opportunity like this to encourage other people to take those first steps like I did, because I was that classic student. I'm too old, I'm not good enough, I won't get on the course. And I was wrong. So wrong. I suppose if there was one pearl of wisdom that I would offer to anybody who is thinking of joining a course with York Learning, is in terms of when you are working with the ethics and you're looking at those, is really think about it in terms of be brave, show courage, have a go at it, dip your toe in the water, but also be very mindful that you're looking at yourself. And I think that's what a lot of people, like when we first started, don't quite get. And that's important, because you learn about yourself. And the one thing I will value as well is that, you know, that conscious part of me that I know the unconscious bit I didn't really understand. I've got a better grip on that part of Sandra, because that's the bit that's messy, that's the bit that's untidy, that's the bit that's a bit dark and a bit. But through the learning and through the growing with everybody else, we all found that we all have a lot of murky water. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of yourself. Trust in yourself, and with the learning as well. Believe in it and trust in it, and it will work out. You have to work hard with yourself, but it will work out. Yeah, it's the best thing I've ever done. Best thing I've ever done. Never say never, and don't say no. Don't have that attitude where other people may be saying to you, "Oh, you're too old for that," or "You can't do it." Give it a go. Anything you fancy pursuing, because it may open doors and it could change your life forever. And there's nothing worse than the not knowing. I wish I had. Maybe I should have. Actually believe in yourself. That's what I would say. Have the confidence to believe in yourself and have a go. If it doesn't work out, try something else or try it later.